What is up, guys? Today we are going to be upgrading the OEM rubber door bushings with a set of beautiful polyurethane door bushings by Spiked Performance. These are hands down the coolest door bushings on the market. They come in a variety of different colors and patterns, and they fit all generations of Miata NA through ND. So today I'm going to show you how to install these, as well as take a look at the before and after difference that they make. The first step is to remove the OEM door bushing by removing these two bolts with either a 10mm socket or a Phillips head screwdriver. Now is also a great opportunity to clean behind the door bushing, as a lot of dirt tends to build up in this area. Now we can compare these two door bushings side by side. You can see the difference in the stiffness of the OEM one. It's very soft versus the Spiked Performance bushing. There's virtually no play to it. Now these should be virtually the same size. There might be a small difference, and for this reason we do need to test fit these and make some potentially necessary adjustments before installing them on the body of the car. So take the bushing, and these little slots here should go inside towards the door. That's going to help us clear these screws that hold this door cup in, because this is where the bushing fits into. And you'll notice that it's probably a very tight fit. You kind of have to snap it into place here. And so what we need to do is actually adjust the door cup here. Spiked Performance recommends taking a set of pliers and actually bending the cup to get a nice tight fitment with the bushing. We want it to be tight around the bushing so it minimizes the way the door moves around the bushing. That's the whole point of these, to minimize the play in the door. But we don't want it so tight that we're having to snap it into place, or else it's going to be way too difficult to close the doors. So go ahead and take a set of pliers and bend the cups until you get a perfect fitment with the bushing itself. And test it out as many times as necessary until you get a good fitment. Now we can attach the new bushing using the new hardware that's provided. These bolts use a 4mm Allen key to thread on. The trick here is to install the bushing and get the bolts finger tight, just enough where you can still wiggle the bushing up and down. This will allow it to self-adjust as we close the door a couple times to get it into position. Then we will go ahead and tighten down the bolts. Now to tighten down the bolts, we're going to hold the bushing steady, that way we don't mess up the alignment that we just did, and we'll crank down on them. Don't tighten them too much, but make sure that they are nice and tightened down so that way the bushing doesn't move around. After doing that, we'll go ahead and close the door a couple more times to test the fitment and make sure that it works. And that, my friends, is how you install door bushings on a Miata. Now, it's important to note that you want to be careful when bending those door cups. I heard a little bit of a cracking sound when I was bending mine. It's probably fine, probably nothing to worry about, but do be careful that you don't cause damage to the door or anything while you're doing that. And it only takes a little bit of bending to get it to fit. So start with small adjustments and just make those as necessary. Now it's time to take a look at the before and after. So starting with opening and closing the door, here's the before. And here is the after. Then I also recorded some footage while driving. So here is before, going over some bumps. And here is after, going over the same bumps. I feel like the microphone didn't really do it justice, because you do notice the sound as soon as you close the door for the first time. Once I got those door cups adjusted, it was perfectly easy to open and close the door, basically the same as it was stock. I know a lot of people complain about that with door bushings, but if you do adjust the door cup, it seems to eliminate that problem completely. But you do notice the difference in the sound. With the OEM bushing, the door sounds very hollow and tinny. Even on the ND, when you open and close it, that was eliminated with the Spiked Performance door bushing. It sounds and feels a lot more solid now. In addition, while I was driving, it did sound more solid and stiff as I was going over bumps in the road. You may not notice that as much if you're on stock suspension, because the stock suspension does a pretty good job of soaking up bumps and vibrations from the road. But if you're on the stiffer suspension like I am, those bumps and vibrations are translated through the chassis, and so you will notice more of a difference there. Overall, I am very happy with these door bushings. I can't really say if they actually improve chassis rigidity, but it does make the car feel more solid and cohesive, and they just look super cool as well. So I really want to thank Spiked Performance for providing me this set of bushings to make this video for you guys. As always, leave your questions and comments down in the comment section below, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.